Hey guys, Gear here. So, here we are again. So far you guys have stuck with me through quite a few videos, and I want to thank you for that because I know better than anyone that I have a horrible speaking voice. As you can see, our little bear guy's coming along quite well. But you guys have stuck with me, like I said, through the head, well, through the feet, the arms, and the body. As you can see, here's my body. Now it's now glued together, and it's been hollowed out. The only reason that it's not attached to him is it's a lot easier to paint it when it's not attached. I should have mentioned that in the last video, and I didn't think about it until after I'd uploaded, and by then it was, too late to fix it. That being said, as you can see, it's a good fit. All our skirt pieces are now attached, so he's getting there. Obviously, there's still a lot of painting to do, but one step at a time. So now we're going into the helmet. And the helmet is somewhat interesting, only because of the simple fact that I forgot to hang on to all the unnecessary pieces of the helmet. But as you can see from the picture, and bring it into focus here, the original helmet had these gold dots with a black surface. I decided to exclude those. I thought it'd be too much work to try and put one of those into this. And I also thought that for a tutorial video, probably not a good idea to do some really, really weird stuff that I wouldn't normally do. That being said, I have my helmet pieces that I've chose to use. The first thing is the sides of the helmet. They're pretty standard for what this Gundam was. The next thing up is the sensor. And finally, the V-fin, which is probably going to get repainted, as I want him to match up a little bit more with the Shin Musha Gundam. But, we're in a tutorial, so that's something I'll be doing after I get done, before I do the final video to show you guys how he looks. So, you got your bear guy head. I guess I should have warned you guys I was going to pull his head off. Anyways, it's not really violent, he's just a model. So, you want to position your V-fin right about there. Kind of like between the eyes, but not really. But it can vary depending on the Gundam. Some of my early ones had it way up, some of my later ones had it way down. In fact, for a good example of it being way down is this guy here. My unicorn bear guy. Well, I call him the Magic Knight, but as you can see, it sits really low on him. Like right down there, almost on top of his nose. That's because I thought the fin would look better there. Whereas other ones, like for example, one of my favorite builds ever, he has it sitting a little bit higher, so it's just above his eyes. It really just depends on, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. It really just depends on the look you're going for in your build. If you want him to be a little more relaxed, raise it up a little bit. If you want to be a little more attitudey, bring it down a little bit. The next thing up is your sensor. Now the sensors, they can be tricky. In this one's case especially, I like helmets. I like it when the helmet comes in like multiple pieces, or it's like an outer frame, like it is with, say, the what is it, the BB Strike Full package, Build Strike Full package, because that helmet's a lot easier to work with. This one kind of has that thing going for it, but not really. So, I mean, the helmet is in multiple pieces, but it's in a lot of multiple pieces. Whereas that one there, once you assemble it, it's just two pieces. Well, not two pieces, but it's two easy pieces to cut away from. So, the first thing you do is you trim down anything on the inside that might get in the way of it fitting to your bear guy. And then you start trying to fit it. Now, obviously, no matter which way I go with this, it's not going to fit. So I'm going to have to cut away a little bit. Best way to do that is to cut away from the back end and try and leave your front sensor completely alone. And that takes time. There's a couple ways you can do it. You could actually try and like set it about where you're going to want it at, which in this case for him, I'm wanting it right about here-ish, I think. Well, maybe not. Let me see. Where's that V-fin at? I'll know in a minute. So we figure if we're putting the V-fin there, yeah, right about here-ish. So, first thing I'm going to do is once I see where I'm putting everything, yeah, that's about right. I'm going to hold it there for a second. Okay, my pencil's gone. I have to use this pen. Just put a small dash there. Oh. Yeah, good right. Anyone got a pen out there? I'm kidding. I have these Gundam markers. I really don't want to go that far with it, but you have to, you have to. Okay. Ow. Gundam marker sharp. Putting it right up underneath it, a little bit underneath it, just so it's not in the way. And I'm gonna let it sit so it dries, and I don't end up smearing it all over the head like I've done in the past. That being said, now we can see where our fin's gonna go. We can start kind of like planning how to trim it down, which in this one's case looks like probably right about here, if I had to guess. So let's give it a shot. Really, that's the best way to find out. And if you're hesitant about just cutting it all off at one shot like I am, feel free to, take it in stages. Just do what you're comfortable with. Don't go overboard, just do you. Especially if it's your first time. I had a great person helping me through my first time when I was first learning to do these. He had actually done one just before me. He's actually a good friend of mine on Facebook, and without him I wouldn't be doing these. And here we go. Let's see. As you can see, it's not exactly straight in the back. Me and my steady hands. I want to guess why I didn't become a surgeon. Anyways, so we got a general cut, and we just compare it to the head again. Still a bit high on the back end, but on the bright side, we got a good start now, so we can probably just use our file. Let's try removing some of the file. It's a lot to remove. Ew. Okay. In case anyone's wondering what this is, it's just a makeup brush. Picked it up at Walmart, real cheap. Maybe $3-4. Works great as a duster, especially for Gundams, even when they're on the shelf. It won't mess them up too much on their stands. As you see, we're getting closer, and I'll fine tune it some once I'm off camera. May end up actually just cutting away at this part here because it is such a high rise in the front. I never noticed that before. Huh, weird. So let's just try and even that out a little bit. Because right now, it's not working. It's a tight fit, and I don't have my god hands. In general, I only use my god hands on the road. That being said, I wish I had them right now, but they're in my travel kit at work. Okay, so power this down a little bit more, just to smooth it out a bit, make it look good. Okay, take our duster, run it through. Also, when you're sanding, if you guys get these rough edges, you can actually just really simply remove them with a knife blade. Just take the blade, run it very gently up the side. You don't even need to apply pressure, it'll do the rest. I'm actually trying to cut off some extra stuff I saw just now in the front that I think might be a connection issue later on. But yeah, it just, see, there it goes. Took off a whole bunch of it off the side, makes it nice and smooth. That being said, take our head. Yeah, see, that put us a lot closer. That's almost within a range I'm okay with. A little bit more clipping down the front later on, and I'll be good to go. And like I said, it's just a little bit by bit. Try to take off as little from the front as possible. The back is your best place to remove from. Now onto this. Now, obviously, this skirt, well, I guess it's a skirt technically. This side parts of the helmet will never go all the way around. In some cases, you'll get really lucky, and you have a Gundam like, say, Magic Nightmare guy, where it's just a little side piece, easy enough to reattach, and you don't have to bring too many details over. In other cases, you get ones like this guy, where you bring over the whole side of the helmet. But in this case, I got lucky and I was able to cut it in half from the back. That being said, we're going to try to do the same thing to this one. Thankfully, since it has these notches for the other piece of the helmet to connect in, we can see about where we need to cut at, which should be right about where this line is. Now, normally, I would be using a different tool, like a Dremel, but I am not going to want to Dremel out for a video. No offense, guys. But let's see. Okay, now we're going to remove this piece. See, because now we have a clear line straight up from the bottom. Oh, look at that, simple. Next thing you want to do is you definitely want to try and smoothen these edges out. Ooh, that blade is way too long. I'm not getting any power. Smooth out the edges just a bit. And before anyone says, hey, you're going to cut yourself cutting like that, believe me, I know. Most of my Gundams have my DNA in them. Quite literally. On the bright side, if I ever go missing, they got something for the cadaver dogs to lock onto the scent of. Well, at least for the blood part. So anyways, all the way down till you get it smoothed out. You can also use a sanding stick for it. It's really up to you. You know, because we did that way, we don't know exactly where this thing gets cut at. It's a simple process of just connecting it in half and seeing where it should go. And we clip there. Sorry, I know it's shaking there a little bit. I didn't want to accidentally cut these pieces off though and have them go flying off somewhere. So, as you can see now, we have all of our pieces. Now, obviously these things are not going to stay on too well like that. I'm going to have to glue it on in time. But for now, I'm just fitting the helmet piece. So, adjust it a bit and then figure out where it goes. In this one's case, obviously, you know, not a great fit. I got a huge gap there. Sorry. The little things are going to have to be adjusted, like taking out the inner liner on this part of the helmet. Simple process, just cutting it away. And honestly, you guys way too close to the edge. Honestly, this is a lot harder to do on an SDEX or something that has a solid core head. Such as say, well, yeah, SDEX is the best example. I don't know about the new SD cross silhouettes. I have one on order. I'm planning on turning into a bear guy eventually. After I've built him and painted him and got to admire him for a few minutes. Maybe snap a photo with him or something, I don't know. But anyways, as you can see, I've kind of butchered the curve to get it cut out, but you get the general idea. And then I can always go back to my knife like I always do and clean it up and with the sanding stuff in. But anyways, long story short, long process short, I should say. I check it again. Okay, we're getting there. And since this thing has some flex to it, similar to how the Yamizaku's eye patch had some flex to it, I can eventually just kind of bend it around the helmet, bend it around the head, and make it work. Worst case scenario, if I have to, I'll clip some off the back end and kind of make it fit in there. But I think for the most part, I can do it that way. Show you what I'm talking about with the Yamizaku. The Yamizaku eye patch actually came off of the helmet, I think it was. Oh no, it was a piece. Just a piece that was attached on. You can see I used a lot of glue to hold it in place. I thought I was in trouble with my glue that day. That's why I'm upgrading my testers when I run out. But he turned out really well as well. And that eye patch is similar in nature to the flex of this stuff. But yeah, once you do all that and you glue all those pieces on, you'll get a fully formed bear guy head, similar to these guys. Also, one of the benefits of the bear guy head is the simple fact that once assembled, as you can see, we have some really rough looking spots in there. And I think Yami might have one of those too, actually. Yeah, he does. Has that rough spot as well with the peg in the back. The head helps cover that up. From the front, the back, the sides. It does a good job of helping to hide that a little bit. That being said, oh, why is your sideways? Sorry, buddy. That being said, that is how you do the helmet. From there, it's pretty much up to you what you want to paint it. This guy's actually going to be getting a custom job. I'm hoping to have him in the paint shop in the next few days. Well, actually you're looking at the paint shop. But I'm hoping to have the painting done in the next few days, or maybe a week at the most, and then have the final result out for you guys in a video shortly after that. And like I said, I may paint this right just so, white. I might paint this white just so it matches up with the Shinmusha Gundam, which is a white samurai Gundam with a very similar appearance. Not perfectly the same, mind you, but very, very similar. But yeah, so that's the first step, or not the first step, but that's how you do the head. Like I said, once all said and done, all this stuff will be attached to him, and he'll look pretty darn amazing. And at that point, I will hopefully be able to come back and do, well, I'll definitely be able to come back and do it. But once he's painted, hopefully within the next week or so, I'll have the final video out. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful time. Thank you guys for sticking with me through all this, and please come back for the final video. You guys have gone so far through this journey with me. It'd be nice to have you here for the final step of it. Bye.